invited to a game? Ever get invited somewhere and somebody say, yo, hey, I want you to come over to the game with me. Come watch the game in my spot. So you say, all right, man, I'll come over to the game and watch you. Watch the game with you, you know what I'm saying? You grab some chips, grab a case of beer, grab something to drink, and maybe some, little appetizers, maybe some wings, pizza. You go over to your boy's crib, right? And so you get over there, you might be thinking it's just you and a couple of friends or whatever. You get the pizza and whatever. And you get over there and you look around and it's a different setup than you thought it was going to be. You get over there and there's music playing. You got a card game in the table. Somebody might be playing cards. Four or five people putting a card in the corner playing poker, playing spades, euchre. I don't know what the heck they going on there playing Uno. You might have another table with the ladies and the wives is there doing the wifely thing. They might be talking and doing their thing, and then lo and behold, you might got the kids there. You like, I didn't know wasn't going to be no kids here. You got the 2-year-old sitting there crying and doing a bunch of extra stuff. You like, man, I didn't know we had the newborns here. No. You didn't have a sitter, or you didn't have none of that. You didn't have a babysitter, and and then Lord forbid, we done all been there, where you might be at a spot, and you got somebody that got the remote, and they clicking in between commercials, clicking on. And I can understand if you click into the Red Zone channel, but not even really with that. When the Browns is on, they clicking to some other joints. They clicking to the Sunday matinee. They clicking to some other stuff. You like, who got the remote? Who told you to touch the remote? Who is that guy? Who is that young lady over there with the remote? Who gave that person access? So now you at a game, it's the second quarter. You done drove 35, 45 minutes out your way to go to your boy's crib. You got a spades game going over in the corner. You got 2 or 3 kids screaming, playing tag in the house. Somebody done fell. Somebody said, Johnny's hitting me. Stop. Sit down. You got 3 or 4 people that's running around. They turning the channel in between on the 3rd down when they're measuring on a pivotal down on a measurement. And now you're watching some sort of Lifetime movie on the 3rd down and you can't even tell. In the back of your mind, you saying, why the heck did I come here today? What is we even doing? Why am I even here? Everybody, every man that's sitting here watching this blog, they done been here. We done been here. We done all been here before. See, but you should have known yourself. You should have. That's on you. It's not on your buddy. You should have known what kind of football guy he was before you signed up to go over to his house. Is he a fantasy football dude? Is he a hardcore dude? Is he a guy who just watches casually? Is he a guy that only is going to watch his team if they're 5-1, 6-1? Are they just going to only watch on Monday night, Thursday night games, nationally televised games? Or are they die-hard Browns fans, die-hard root for their teams, 1-15, 0-16, rocking their colors? Or are they going to be one of them worst of all time flip-floppers? I root for the Browns and the Steelers at the same time. See, you know what kind of fans they was before you signed up to go across town to go hang out with them. You knew what it was. You should have stayed yourself at home, locked yourself in, ordered your food in the pandemic early, and been locked in, ready to go with that remote in hand, ready to go with the remote on by your hip. No disruptions. Phone on silent. Stop calling me. I ain't going to no store. Tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, you know what time it is. No interruptions. If you ain't got it by now, you ain't about to go get it. If you ain't, don't you even look at me. Stop. It's 1 o'clock. Stop playing with me. You say, G. Bush, what are we talking about? Look, you're rambling again. I say that to say this. There's different levels of fans. And so when I critique the game on my blogs and when I break the game down on my blogs, I break the game down at a level that comes from me breaking it down from playing the game for 20 plus years. I break the game down from being around the game. I break the game down from a level of watching the all 22s after every single game. From looking at it from a perspective of what coverage they're in. From looking at the game based on what defensive fronts they're in, based on the offensive play calls. So I look at the game a little differently. But I also have to realize that some of the people out there that is watching the games or watching these blogs, they don't really care about none of that. You know what they care about? Did my fantasy dudes score touchdowns? Did the Browns score a lot of points? And did they win? If you did that, if you checked them boxes, you A-okay with me. Because you know what you got to realize? They ain't had nothing moving around in a long time. They ain't had no wins in a long time. They ain't had, and you know what? I'm fine with that. You got to know what you signed up for. You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know your audience, G. Bush. You got to know. There's a lot of people out there who just want to, see their team win. They just want to see, Chubb run the ball. They just want to see Kareem Hunt score. They just want to see OBJ get a couple touchdowns. They just want to see their team be competitive. They haven't seen their team win in such a long time. You can't get mad. You can't get mad at a woman for saying, you know what? Girl, I had a nice date night. Guess where my dude took me? You be like, where? Girl, I had me some of them cheddar biscuits at Long John Silver's. Some people's wives might be like, I can't believe she said Long John Silver's. She didn't even say Red Lobster. Are she kidding me? Beggars can't be choosers. Maybe she ain't been in and out of the house in 6 years. She gonna take what she get. Don't throw water on her parade. Don't throw water on her parade. I get it. Browns ain't been good in a long time. I get that, man. I'm not going to throw water on your parade. However, here's what I will say about this. When I take a look and I'm critiquing the teams and I'm doing all these other things, people have to also learn to stay in your lane too. If I'm willing to admit sometimes you just want to see points on the board, great. But also be willing to admit that you're not looking at the tape in the way that I'm looking at the tape. Be also willing to admit that you're not going to break hours to take down. You're not going to get to all 22. You're not going to spend money to do those things. You're not going to be looking at coverages, and you're not going to be looking at defensive line fronts, and you didn't really do that at the college level. You're not going to be doing that for 20 years. You're not going to be breaking that tape down. And just admit that you're not going to be doing those things, right? I said a couple weeks ago, I said a couple weeks ago, actually in a blog after the Washington game, I said Dwayne Haskins will be sitting down pretty soon. Wake up today and they're making a move on Dwayne Haskins. We could argue back and forth whether or not that's too early, right? We can argue back and forth whether or not that Dwayne Haskins, did he get a fair shake? Did he not? Is Dwayne Haskins, are they not giving, does he have tools around him? Does he have weapons? No. Does he have a good system? No. Does he have weapons? Is he in a dumpster fire? Is his front office garbage? Is all those things accurate? Yes. However, I've been always telling people, I've always let you know that the whole fairness and whether or not, give him time and, it's a third system and new coach and new GM, all that good stuff. It's not really relevant. It's not really relevant. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize that people are going to move on quickly in the NFL. They're going to move on quickly. The days of your grandfather telling you that it's going to take time, that just is not the reality anymore. It's just not. Which brings me to one Baker Mayfield. And I've been looking at a way I can explain this to you the best way that I can. And I was on the radio earlier today and I was doing interviews. And the best way I can explain to individuals when they keep asking you whether or not Baker Mayfield is a game manager and how do you assess his performance. When I'm looking at the tape and when I looked at the tape for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's playing terrible. I'm not. When you look at the tape, Baker Mayfield, if I can explain it in layman's terms, Baker Mayfield, compared to last year, on plays he would have been getting sacked, throwing the ball away, or throwing interceptions, he is now completing for 4 to 5 yards or 6 to 7 yards, right? So let me repeat that. Plays last year, where he would have been sacked, throwing the ball away, or incomplete passes or interceptions, he is now throwing for 4 to 5 yards or 6 to 7 to 8 yards, right? That is improvement, right? He's also looked tremendous on his play action game. His fakes look a lot better. His play action game looks great, awesome. He's carrying out all of his fakes underneath center. He's doing all of those things, right? So he's doing that type of stuff. And that's being augmented by the run game looks much better. Brilliant offensive line play, brilliant play calling, and he's doing those things, and those are helping him. So when those plays, he's doing those things in the intermediate passing game. But the difference between guys who are average quarterbacks between those guys who are the good to elite quarterbacks is the plays where the defense is going to give you those 4 to 5 yard plays in the coverages compared to the guys who are elite is they can recognize or wait and say, defense is in this defense. I can recognize and understand in that defense they're giving me that 5 yard play. But if I wait a couple of seconds longer, if I slide here a little bit, if I move up in the pocket a little more, I can get big plays here. I can get the 20-yard dig right here. I can get the 25-yard post corner here. I can slide and get the deep ball here. I can move the safety with my eyes and get the shot play here. Those are the differences between the elite guys and the guys who are just average. Now, someone will say, G. Bush, all that comes with time. That comes with time. That comes with patience. All that comes. I understand that. You can say that. You can say those things. But what you have to stop saying is, cognitively, there's a difference between cognitive processing. How fast can you process information? Some people will say the processing of information never speeds up, right? There's a difference between understanding what somebody's doing to you in a skill set rather than knowing what the playbook is. I can know where the ball is going, right? I can determine where the ball is going based on the play that's in the huddle, right? I can know where the ball's going. But can I process what the coverage is and then get it there like that? See, that's the difference. That's where the elite guys come in. So I just want to give you guys the distinction of understanding where I'm coming from when I'm talking about Baker Mayfield and the progressions, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we have to get to a point where we can intelligently talk about quarterback play without saying that, going to the lowest common denominator. On my channel, I like to have intelligent conversations, not based on knee-jerk reactions about whether or not I like a guy or not, or I want to have a beer with him, or I can identify with him, or I just like him because he's the best quarterback Cleveland has had. That does not have anything to do with processing information on a cover 3 and I got a play action and I'm looking for a drag route. What does that have to do with you're the best quarterback since Cleveland has been here? That's what I'm trying to get when I have these breakdowns, right? That's what I'm trying to get to, right? So, and there's a medium. There's a happy medium, right? I'm happy that Cleveland is 3-1. I'm very happy that Baker Mayfield, instead of throwing those interceptions and instead of taking those sacks, he is getting rid of the ball quicker. He is carrying out those play action fakes. I'm not going to argue with those 8. I'll take the 8. Take the 8, live to fight another day. But what I'm saying is, as he's still taking those 8, the next progression that I want to see him get to, and what's going to make the Cleveland Browns a more dangerous team, is those plays where the light goes off and he says, the defense is giving me that. That's the route in the defense. This is the route the defense has predetermined that they want me to give them that. They're giving me that. Where's the route that they don't want me to have? Where's the route that's going to hurt them? I call those money plays. I call those backbreaker plays. Those are the plays that blow it open. And every single defense has those plays, the routes that they cannot cover, the routes that they don't want you to have, the playmakers, the game changers. Those are the routes that they see. And there's a couple of them every single game that are wide open or that are open out there for you to have. And those are the routes that Baker wants to get to. And those are the routes that, he would want back. And he'll say, if you were in a film room, his coaches will tell you that. We just don't have an opportunity or we're privy to those in the film room. And those are the things that I'm seeing on the all 22. You don't have to have them every time, but those are the routes that, teams are going to at one point in time, they're going to make him get to those, right? Baker's playing better. He's playing better than he did last year. Continue to see the progress. Continue to put that money in the bank. Continue to build on those principles. And if your footwork is getting better, you can tell he's still not comfortable with his footwork as he was last year. And you change the mechanics and all that other good stuff, right? I would rather be still working on something and still getting the wins rather than working on something and still getting the losses, right? At the end of the day, we still would like to get the wins, right? We're 3-1, got a good opportunity to go in and get this win against Indianapolis. Stay tuned for that blog. We got that coming up next. As always, hit that like, subscribe button. As always, it's the Barbershop here. Get at me. And guess what? Got a guest coming up, special guest. You see what it is, man. Quincy Carrier. He's in the barbershop. We'll get him in the chair too. Ha ha. Thought I wasn't going to do it. I did it.